Right now, you know, it's wintertime, so it's like scaly. It look like throwback a little bit. It's like no really color, so it's not like HD yet. So when the summertime comes, that's when outside be HD.
Okay, I see. All right, let's see. Something Jay every day wanted to talk about. Let's get right into this. Jam right, chill.
I thought about spaces.
With this?
With this, it was so funny because it happened to pop up, and my wife was looking at me.
You just laugh, huh?
We was laughing. I was like, spaces.
Dance disgusts me. I hate that. I get disgusted.
What? You talking about any man that
Now she gonna do a dance
Chris
move.
Brown?
Yes.
Made me think about spaces.
What about
It's a real thin line, but I think that I like Chris Brown type dancing.
No, I do a test. Like, before I got married, I asked my ex, I said, can you dance? He was like, yeah. I said, show me. He was like, I said, yeah, we're going to be together. We're going to be together. I do not like guys that can dance.
That is crazy.
Gross. Because my worst nightmare is like me being at a party and I'm in the kitchen getting some juice, and I'm like, yeah, girl, this party's cute. And I hear, oh, and I peek in the living room, and it's my middle. Like,
That's it right there with the end. That's what it was. That's what I thought about. I said, so if you're gonna date Jared, Spaces, you know he finna hit you with the, you know what I mean? Just letting you know. I got my icebox where my heart used to be.
Yeah, you here?
Jonathan, come on.
Hey, they was cracking up and put down this shit.
Let's go. Stop. Let's go.
So pause there real quick. Well, you know, it's about the end. You can take that shit off, really. But as a person who does dance, I mean, we got to make it into a question, right? So as a person that does dance, have you ever gotten that from a woman? Like, no. Right? This is my first time hearing it. So I was like, damn, I thought most women like dudes who can dance, you know.
Look at Rob. No, I've never
Rob,
heard
what up,
that.
bro? What up, Rob?
And of course, you know, you always get that person that's different. That's, you know, if you look at 100 people thinking that they're not all going to have the same thought process, right? But generally speaking, 99% of the people are going to
be cool with you.
Be cool with that, right?
That's the one right there. That's the one right there.
That's the one. Like, what the heck? I don't see.
Yeah, I never heard of that, but I thought it was funny. The little dance move she did, I said, that's spacious right there. That.
Even with the example that she used, your worst night, even though I know it's a figure of speech and she's not 100% like, she's gonna scream and run out of the building or something like that if that happens, but. What's the issue with people start celebrating and saying, oh, and all this stuff? Like, what's the issue with that? I think
she's been traumatized before, and something happened to where her nigga was dancing and probably was dancing on another woman or something. Just doing something, and it's like traumatized her for the rest. Now she's traumatized for the rest of her life.
That's I could see that. I'm curious to know where that comes from. I'm really curious to know where that comes from because
it's a you know how they call it, it's a trauma.
It's funny, but
Ski, what up?
What's good, bro?
DX, what's going on?
I don't know how serious I want to.
I mean, it was Kevin on stage, so I think, you know, it had to have some comedic appeal to it. But yeah, I just thought it was funny for that.
He say I thought of spaces with them.
Yeah. Anytime I see some dancing, I automatically think spaces.
I thought of spaces.
These motherfuckers would be doing the river dance, and I'd be like, man, I know spaces would kill that shit. Because he can dance, you know what I'm saying? I give my man some props on that, man. He really, you know what I mean? He taught me to just, you know, sit back and do the 1-2.
Yeah. I'm not fucking with him.
Yeah. You know, with the Kendrick?
Yeah, that's it.
I'm not fucking with him when it comes to that. You feel me?
But no, that was funny. That was funny. Yeah, and I saw that it was Kev on stage, so I'm like, and that's what, you know, that actually makes me think about just comedic podcasts in general, right? Like, you ever seen listen to a comedy podcast where they're the main person, Kevin on Stage, or even Andrew Schultz with Flagrant, you could tell these are some forced laughs at some point.
Are you talking about that right there?
No, not necessarily there, because I was really trying to hone into what she was saying, so I wasn't really paying attention to anybody else. But sometimes it's some forced laughs. Like when I used to just tune into the Steve Harvey Morning Show just because, just something to listen to. Yeah. Like, come on, man, I could tell you.
I ain't gonna lie. I used to listen to him every morning when like podcasts first started on the iHeartRadio app, and he used to have me cracking up in the morning. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, Steve?
Yeah, Steve Harvey used to have me.
Yeah, some of this should be good.
I'm not gonna say all of it. Like, you probably is right. They do be laughing like, bro, come on, man. I know he's a comedian, but everything he says is not funny.
Exactly. And that's my, I don't want to say gripe, I guess maybe a little bit of pushback against comedic podcasts and comedic platforms, because the expectation is for people to laugh. And the pressure is on the host or whoever is the what is it, the comedic relief, to make people laugh. And if it just comes off with like it's not genuine laughs, not genuine humor. And even sometimes, even with the person that's supposed to be funny, they're forcing the jokes sometimes. So I just like when people just have regular conversation, and in that conversation,
just start laughing
and making jokes.
Shit that just came, yeah.
Is he better than Chris Brown? Is he dancing better than Chris Brown? I'd say is out. You know what? Because I ain't never seen that nigga Chris live or whatever. But I'd say Spaces is definitely inspired by the nigga. You know what I'm saying? Definitely inspired by him. So, but I ain't never see like Chris Brown do the bus stop. Like, this dude do all that shit. So.
The bus stop.
Yeah, Chris Brown that dude is a monster. Yeah, that dude is a monster.
Chris
nobody on a major platform, major in the mainstream is messing with Chris Brown.
Inspired is crazy.
Inspired is crazy.
Shit. Yeah, but I don't think nobody like when you really look at entertainers, I don't think there's nobody really out there messing with Chris Breezy, is it?
Nah, Chris on a whole different.
Chris Breezy he get busy.
Like Chris on that coke, he allegedly Chris go crazy.
What they say, pre-beat, or after beat?
Yeah.
Or both.
Both.
I mean, if you just watch, let's just say 3 videos of his, just 3. It's genius, man. It's genius, for real. But okay. Yeah, that was great. That was hilarious. I'm gonna go back to that and watch that again.
Hey, but I got a quick question for us before we really get in right into it, right?